Hey everybody, we'll just wait for a couple of, maybe a minute or two, and then we'll get going. Whoever's driving, drive carefully. Well, I see Ryan Brannon is spying on us, so I'll just go ahead and say, make sure you guys all buy your Christmas sweater, Crown ugly sweater thing, okay? Because that's big, and you have to make sure that you wear that at the December camp. So, so yeah, make sure you buy your ugly sweaters, your Crown ugly sweaters. Ryan will be wearing all of that. In fact, I think he's making a full-out three-piece suit this year of the new ugly sweater. So make sure you get that for Ryan, okay? All right, I'm going to go through my list here real quick. Right, great to see everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your families and all of that. I'm going to go through my little list I have here, and then I'm going to pass it over to Kevin Morrison. The goal of this little State of the Brass is to talk about the December camp. Although the reality is that if we were having a real camp right now, we would have gone through a very similar State of the Brass. So obviously that's not happening, but I want to get you guys ready, try to answer some questions that get us ready for that December camp. First and foremost, from what I understand, from what I believe, and the brass staff kind of did all this. I saw Kevin Ronan around here, so he was one of them. But brass staff did the first round of auditions, and I believe that if you are here in the State of the Brass, you have been invited to the December callback camp. So congratulations on getting through round one, and we're going to get into round two at the December camp, and that's really what we want to talk about. But first of all, what did we miss? What did we miss from an in-person November camp? I think we did a lot of things. It's not much. The administrative staff, Cody and Ryan and Nancy and anybody else that I'm forgetting to mention that has helped with this process has done a killer job doing this first round of auditions without being in person. And so we haven't really missed a lot, guys, okay? We did that. We would have done pretty much exactly what you guys did anyway. It just would have been in person. So you would have come into a room, played some etudes, play whatever you did with your video, got some comments, and then instead of being a callback camp for December, we would have placed you on a cream or purple team. And essentially everybody that's in this meeting right now would have been in the cream team. So that's really that's what we would have done had we been in person for the November camp. There is no cream and purple team anymore. You're all cream team. So when we come to the December camp, we're gonna, start, what we normally do, no cream and purple team at all. So that's kind of exciting. However, the one thing that we did miss is the biggest thing that we missed is really talking about our culture, our standards of excellence in terms of, how picky we are with everything that we do. We missed getting to know all of the brass staff and visual staff. We missed that one. You missed fundamental time. Again, you have access to all of these videos, which is great. You got to keep watching these Crown 101 videos. They were put together really, really well, and I want you to keep watching them, because the more you can know getting into the December camp, the better. So whether the visual or the brass stuff, or there's a lot of great videos out there for you guys to check out. So just want to encourage you guys to keep doing that, because we missed that as well. That instructional time of our fundamentals. Okay, if we are the the New England Patriots or the Atlanta Falcons or the Indianapolis Colts, we would give you a playbook. This is our fundamental program. This is our technique, and you have to learn this, and you have to know it so well, so you don't have to think about it. You just automatically know how to do Kevin's fundamental program in marching and posture. You just know it. You don't have to think about it. You just know it. Our breathing technique, everything that we do. It's going to take us some time to do that, but we missed out a little bit on that. However, again, I just want to give kudos to all of our administrative team who tried to put all of that together so we wouldn't miss anything from the November camp. So all the resources are there. You just have to do it. What we kind of missed is the real face-to-face. That's what we missed, which obviously we're learning through this crazy time how important that is, right? So we've done a great job on trying to give everybody all the resources possible, and it's awesome. So we just look forward to seeing everybody in December. So that's kind of what we missed for November. It's not a lot, guys. It's not a lot. So, but we'll be anxious to start our winter camp season in a few weeks, actually. So what's going to happen in December? Okay, round two of the audition process. First of all, I will be sending, and I've asked Michael Klesch this, so I will be doing this the next few weeks. You will be getting updated music, and you'll get that off the Facebook page. Okay, so the music you have is all current. Okay, for now. And then the next few weeks, you'll probably get new everything. Okay, we'll all get all of that part 1, part 2, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure I'll just in case you missed it, Smile and Band of Brothers for sure. Okay, so keep an eye out on the Facebook pages for updated music, and I'll try to do the best I can, because Michael dates everything. And maybe like the week of, I'll say, hey, make sure you have all updated music. This is the date, November, whatever it might be, or could be a December update. Okay, so that's first thing. We will right away on Friday, we will start going through our technique program, musically technique program. We're going to start going through that. Again, all of those videos are on the Crown 101 page, so keep looking at that, keep educating yourself, do a lot of reps on that. But we're going to start doing our fundamental program right away on Friday. Saturday, we kind of do some back and forth kind of things where visual will take half the section. If I remember right, they usually start with the low brass. Yeah, high brass usually play. Kevin, it doesn't really matter to Kevin, but we usually have the high brass play in the morning, and then in the evening, low brass play in the afternoon and evening. So you will be with half of the section, will be with Kevin in the morning, while we have, we'll just say high brass, for example. Low brass will be with the visual staff. High brass will be in music. We'll go through some technique classes, but then we're also going to do the OTM. Okay, what is that? Well, we'll probably take out, I'll just say 12 to 15 people at a time, and it's everybody. Even if you marched Project 21, it's everybody. Everybody's doing this. Okay, right now, first round has been anybody who did not do Project 21. But now, round 2, it's everybody. Okay, you'll come into, usually we do it in the auditorium, but you go in the auditorium and we'll do the OTM together a couple times. Okay, and then you'll do it individually. So I want your mindset to be right. When you prepare for this, you'll be in an auditorium. I'll be there. Some staff will be there. Michael Klesch might come in if he doesn't have any design meeting or anything like that. And then you will play your OTM by yourself in front of anybody else who's in there in terms of students. So yes, here's what I want to say to you so you can mentally prepare yourself. If I'm a first-year member trying to get one of those spots, I could do an OTM next to somebody who has been marching 3 or 4 years. Why am I telling you that? Because that could be intimidating, and I want you to mentally prepare for that. Okay? It won't be the whole line. Like I said, it'll be like 15 people. All right? So you'll do that. We'll get some comments to you. I also want you to play, and again, this is up to the leadership. Okay? They do such a great job setting up all the OTMs. But I'm going to ask you to play something from part 2, Standing Still. Okay? And I would love for that to be memorized. I don't want to bring stands in. Okay? So you will play, I'm Matt Harloff. I'm auditioning for Crown Trumpet Line. I'm going to do the OTM. Sweet. Thank you. And then now play, I don't know, A to B from part 2. Here's a metronome. Go. So that will be Standing Still. First thing on the move, and then the part 2 thing, Standing Still. By the way, January, prepare for part 2 on the move. It's going to happen. Oh yeah, it's going to happen. Okay. So yeah, and then we'll go through the whole line. Usually we're able to get through all of the high brass in the morning, all of the low brass in the evening. But if we do have some issues, or if we don't get through everybody or whatever, we'll finish it up right after dinner. Okay? Then what happened? Now, Kevin, he'll talk about what he's going to do after I'm kind of done with my spiel. But after we both kind of, basically the evening, Kevin and I will get together and we'll compare notes. And here's what we'll do for the December camp. We're going to make a list. We're going to make a list of, and it's been, ultimately I think we should make 3 lists. Okay? First, I want to start by saying this. No one, I repeat, no one is getting cut in the December camp. Nobody is. Okay? So I know a lot of you will be nervous anyway, but no one's getting cut. You will get another chance at January. Okay? So I want to be very clear. Nobody's getting cut. So, but we're going to make 3 lists. Okay? First list will be our contracts. Yes, we're going to offer contracts in December. Not going to lie, it might be half. Maybe. We're going to do as many as we can, but if all of a sudden we're comparing notes and Kevin and I are both like, yes, now, contract them now. Okay? They're going to get contracts. Group 2 will be the biggest group. So I don't want anybody to leave the camp because right now everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm going for that contract in December. Oh yeah, come on now. It's your first camp with us. So don't be disappointed if you're in group 2. Okay, I will tell you, when my son marched, he had to get better for Kevin. He really did. He was a 3rd trumpet. He was all right. But that first camp, he didn't get a contract. He needed to get better visually. And he actually needed to get better visually through the whole season. But no, it was, he did a great job with all of that. But I just want you to know that, he was a person that didn't get a contract in December and ended up getting one later. Okay, so it's not the end of the world if you're in group 2. Ultimately, what does group 2 mean? It means that either the music staff or the visual staff would like to see, we're like, man, close, but not sure like usually Kevin will be like, well, they need to get stronger here, and if they don't, it could create some bad habits in the future. So same thing with us musically. It would be great if we could hear them again on the move. Maybe they'll get better after going through the holidays, something like that. Really close. And then group 3 will be if it was the January camp. If that group 3 would be on the cut list. And actually Kevin will be there as well. We will let you know Sunday morning where you stand. Okay? We'll let you know Sunday morning where you guys stand with that. All right? So now, again, some of you are going to go, wow, I'm maybe a rude awakening of like, wow, I would have been on the cut list if this was the January camp. But again, you're not being cut. Okay? No one is getting cut. I just want you to leave, and I think it's important. This was a long time ago, but one thing that I did learn about this is that we're not going to sugarcoat anything. I want you to know where you stand, and you want to know where you stand. Even if it's group 3, you want to know. So we're going to be very truthful with you, okay? Not going to sugarcoat, not going to patronize, okay? This is where you're at. And, you need to sound better. It could be that. Your posture needs to be stronger. It could be that. All right. So we're gonna tell you to you straight. Just know that it's the December camp, and no one's getting cut. We're just gonna tell you where you stand after the December camp. Once again, group 1, those will be the contracts. It'll mostly be veterans, but usually there's 10, maybe 12 members that have never marched Crown before that were like, sign them up now. So that'll happen, guys. It will. Group 2 will be the biggest group. Boy, you're close. You're really, really close. Come back next camp, improve these 2 or 3 things, and there's a good chance. Okay? Group 3, if this was January, you would have been on the cut list. This is how you need to get better. This is how to move up. Okay? So we're going to do that. And I'll let you know that Sunday morning after Kevin and I spend some time together and compare notes. Okay? Now, January camp, that's when we will, we'll hopefully fill out the line. But we'll do the best we can, and that'll be our goal. So we're going to try to do that. But then we will have a cut list. Okay? I'm going to save the alternate conversation for December. Okay? So let's not even worry about alternates. We're talking about doing something different, and let's save that one for the December camp State of the Brass meeting where it's in person. Okay, so let's not even worry about that right now. All right. Here's a common question that I get: what if I can't make the January camp? Well, if you can't make the January camp, then you know what? You're out. No way. I'm just kidding. If you can't make the January camp, and actually, if you can't make any camps moving forward, you have to email me, and then you can do it with Kevin too, but if I see you didn't email Kevin, I'll forward it to him. But you need to email me a video of your OTM. Okay? So if you can't make it, email me your video plus the part 2 thing. Okay, that leaders, if they haven't already told you, they will soon. But email that to me. Now, I will say this. We started this policy a long time ago. We never give spots or cuts through email. That never happens. We do everything face to face. So anybody not coming to the December camp, we're not going to offer you a contract, even if your video is like awesome. We do it face to face. Vice versa. If you send in a video and it's like, ooh, that's rough, we're not going to cut you electronically. We do it face to face. Okay, so just know that. However, I do want and don't assume that I'm getting on the Facebook pages and seeing your videos. Okay, send it to me email. Say, hey, I can't make the camp because often this time of year it's my college band is blah 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 blah. Can't make the camp. What do I need to do? You just need to email me your OTM. Okay, and for me, it's going to be the OTM plus the part 2 segment that the leaders will tell you. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, the last couple of things, and by the way, if you have any questions for me, although I'm going to do 2 more things, so I may be answering it, put it in the chat, okay? Because I'm going to kind of, when I pass it over to Kevin here in a little bit, I'm going to kind of bail out. You know, I'm going to do one of these. Okay? So if you have any questions for me, put it in the chat, like starting now. However, instruments. What's up with instruments? Now, I haven't really talked to Ryan about it. However, I will say this. I'm sure the Corps is going to have as many Yamahas as there as possible. However, if you can bring your instrument, do it just in case. Okay? It's trumpets. You know, and again, if you can't fly, blah, 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 I get it. If you can bring your trumpet, if you can bring a mellophone, if you can do all of that, you know, I'm sure you can't bring a marching tuba, got it. But if you can bring it, bring your instrument, just in case. If we have enough baritones and have enough instruments for everybody, yeah, sure. Check one out, go through the process of all that, okay? But just in case, just to make sure everybody has an instrument. I know there's this, and to me it's not quite a huge deal for me, but I love that it's a big deal for the members. They're worried about the whole cooler situation. So yeah, you can't get those in. We had a hard time getting one of those awesome coolers. I tried to get one for my daughter for Avon this year, and it took we just happened to be lucky, like Walmart, you know, it's like happened to have it. But I know they've been hard to get. Okay, so why don't we do this one? Just bring any cooler for now. If you can't get the red Coleman, you know, I think it's 1 gallon or 2 gallons, whatever. If you can't get the one that we always want, okay, just bring any cooler for now. All right, just do that, and then we'll figure out as we get closer to the summer, so everybody has the cooler. All right. So, however, stay away from blue, because blue sucks. No blue. And if you have a blue cooler, put some stickers over it, preferably crown stickers. I don't want blue. There's enough blue crap around here. No blue. Got it? All right. Okay, so I think that was the funny thing. Is like, hey, the only Coleman coolers we can get are blue ones. Oh, gosh darn it. So ultimately, though, those are the best coolers. They are by far. And if we have to get blue ones, we will. We'll just make everybody put stickers around it. So, all right. Let's see. Going through. Will the part 2 playing be the same for everyone, or it'll probably be different, because I want the trumpets to do the hardest part of part 2. I want the mellophones to do the hardest part of part 2. Okay, tubas. If there's nothing hard, Kevin Ronan will send you something hard, and he'll have you play that. But I think there's something hard for the tubas, because this is crown brass, and we play more than half notes for the tubas. So I want the hardest part. Okay, so yes, it'll be different. Great question. If I have a conflict for the camp and need to send it in an email, what email? Oh shoot, I have to give you my email address. Gosh darn it. Here's my email address. It's a hard one to remember. mattharloff@mac.com. There it is. mattharloff@mac.com. So if you have to send an email there. Okay. So yes, thank you, Sammer. No water bottles. Okay, we want coolers. So don't bring in a water bottle. You know, even if it's one of those igloo things, that's fine. All right. Yes, I don't like blue. All right. Someone just posted an Amazon thing. That's great. We have 80 red coolers, red Coleman coolers to purchase, but we won't be selling them. So yeah, I think that's why I'm good with, I'm not sure if you guys can all see this chat. Yeah, everyone. Okay. They have 80 red coolers to purchase, but we won't be selling them until spring training. So I think that's a great idea. And that's another reason why I'm like, hey, you know what? For the camps, and as much as I love that everybody's so worried about making sure you have the same cool, I love that guy. I really do. I really love that. But obviously, we're in a weird situation. So, just bring a cooler. Okay. Why do we have that? For water breaks, obviously, if you need some water. All right. Um, but yes, if you don't have a red Coleman cooler, you could purchase it through the Corps actually by spring training. All right. Let's see. Sammer said section leaders will send out part 2 chunks to y'all. What's y'all? Come on now, this Texas crap. I'm just kidding. I love Texas. We need more Texas students as soon as possible, but you'll need to prepare all of part 2 anyway. Yes, that is true. I will tell you this in terms of memorization. We've had we create a culture. Sometimes I think it's a little too crazy because sometimes Micah will send out in the past. He'll send out some music like the day before the camp, and then it's like it has to be memorized. You got it yesterday. It doesn't have to be memorized. Ultimately, we try to have everything memorized. Okay, and this year will probably be really close because we're going to give you all that music a lot faster. So. Memorizing it is key. If you can have it memorized, that's big. All right. Obviously, if you get a brand new production, which we'll see what Michael does. If you get a brand new production the day before, we'll do the best we can. So, anyway, if someone gets a contract in December, could we pay tuition by then? I'm sure that answer is yes, but that would be a Ryan and Nancy question. I'll just say this. Obviously, dues and tuition are going to be it becomes a factor in getting spots. Okay. Unfortunately, that's what it is. But certainly going through the last couple of years, the tuition is going to be a huge part of the drum corps. And so, later on, like I sometimes get, a meeting with Nancy, and like in, February, certainly April, hey, so-and-so is not paid up, then we may need to replace that person because of dues. I hate it, and I know you guys do too, but, that it needs to happen. Okay. So, tuition installments will begin in January. There you go. That's probably the answer to your question. So if someone gets a contract in December camp, could we pay tuition by then? Tuition installments will begin in January. Does Crown offer any fundraisers? Yes. And you know what? They're going to have meetings about it. Okay. If they have, in fact, I bet they've already done it. You may have missed some things. They're really organized with all of that. But I'm sure there will be meetings about fundraisers and things you can do to raise money and stuff like that. So all really, really good questions. Okay, that's all on my list. Looking forward to it, everybody. I'm hating seeing our competitors have camps. And not because I think they're better than us or anything like that, but I'm jealous that they're with each other. I want to be with you guys. I want to be with the staff. I want to get to know all of you. So I'm jealous for that. So I will look forward very much to seeing, hopefully, well, obviously not everybody, because I know there's some people that have some conflicts, but seeing all of you in just a few weeks. So I'm looking forward to that. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I'm going to pass it over to Kevin, and I think that's it. If anybody has any questions, ask the leadership because they probably know. But if not, let me know, and we'll do the best we can to help you guys out. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Out. Kevin, all you.
See you, Matt. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I'll try to get through this fairly quickly. It's like an entire screen of just. Uh, so first, yeah, let me give a shout out to Nancy and Ryan and Cody and our admin team for putting basically the first round of auditions, online, and Jim, Rick, and all those people putting together the Crown 101 video series and the audition process. Should pay huge dividends for us. Um, Hopefully, if you're watching the videos and then comparing your what you're submitting and comparing your reps to the videos for Crown 101. Hopefully when we get to December we should be starting at a much better place than we usually do in terms of visual technique. Now, as Matt said, and as I've said before, there are two components to this contract from a performance standpoint. One is music and the other is visual. And in the past, um, you know, I think the visual component at Crown Brass is probably, when people think Crown Brass, they mostly just think music. And so usually how it goes is people are much better players than they are movers when they come in. So make sure that you're taking advantage of the time that you've been in the Facebook groups right now to get feedback from other vets who have been in our program, as well as maybe some staff that are in the groups. And really those Crown 101 videos for watching how we do technique can be extremely valuable for you, making sure that you feel comfortable coming in and going through the audition process for December. Somebody have their hand up? What was that? Matt Spencer, didn't you have your hand up, or was that an accidental button push? Okay, cool. I'm gonna move on. Okay, so accident, my bad. All right. So, what do we look for on the visual side? We look for all the things that we talked about in the Crown 101 series. We're gonna always do everything for us is process based. So we start with posture because that affects how the legs move, that affects drill, that affects everything else. So really make sure that you're getting in the mirror or with a camera or something like that and checking your posture. And then what does your posture look like when the horn comes up? Because we're going to be in, Matt said that we'll talk through the roster on Saturday night after we do the two blocks. And a lot of people, they look pretty good when we do our visual block. And then Saturday night after Matt and I get done talking, we'll go walk around full horn arc, and we'll watch what do people look like when they're thinking about music. And so we want people who are good rehearsers, right? People who are good rehearsers are going to be good performers, and they're going to perform at a higher level than people who are just good performers. So we want people who are going to be paying attention to the musical aspect of things, and we'll talk about that when we get into visual block. But you should be thinking about music stuff during visual block, and you should be thinking about visual stuff during music block, so that we continue to tie those two things together. So especially baritones, these first couple camps, your shoulders is gonna hurt. All right, your upper back is gonna hurt. All right, just because you just haven't had enough time to you don't just stand around all day and hold the horn up like you do during spring training. So we will be obviously we'll take into account okay, Matt's had their horns up for 2.5 minutes. They are hating life. Okay, we get it. But if your natural tendency is the horn comes down, or no one's looking at me, or you think no one's looking at you, and you're just okay, then we will note that. All right, and we will see everything. I promise. So if you're working hard, that will also be noted, right? If we know oh, that dude, that girl right there is killing it with the posture, okay, I'll go back and I'll look at our little document. I'll say, what did we give them? Did we give them let's give them a contract right now. Visually, I want that person, okay? Yes, a little bit each day goes a long way in terms of holding that horn up. Just a little bit. Practice through, if to say today, these are the exercises that you're going to practice for, crown brass. You're going to practice 2-note slur, 3-note slur, this Remington exercise with a partial slur, and so on and so forth. Try to do a run of all of those with the horn up. Okay. Each day, maybe add on an exercise, or every couple days, add on an exercise to see if you can still maintain posture and maintain good breath support and a relaxed, open sound when you're starting to get a little fatigued. Okay. So more on the idea of what we're looking for. And this is always, this goes back to that coachable video that I posted a little while ago, but like, every single time that we come into the first camp, everybody wants to be the standout. Everybody wants to be like, oh, look at that person. That person really, really gets, they got to be in part of Crown Brass. And then usually it comes in the form of like Matt asks the question or I ask the question and someone is like, yeah, and they want to yell and scream as loud as they possibly can to be like, oh, that person is excited. And that's not actually what we're looking for. Okay. Yes, you have to answer. You should answer, and you should say it in the exact same way, in the exact same volume that everyone else does. Because our goal here is, do you match? Do you blend? Do you fit in? Can you match sounds? Can you match leg shape? Can you match posture of the people on either side of you? That is our ultimate determining factor. So, if we see it 3 people side by side, and we'll do a couple different things visually, which I'll get to in a second, but we're going to put you in a couple different scenarios to see like, hey, can they look at what they are seeing in front of them and match the people in front of them? Because in the process of making art, if you are matching to a degree that the audience has started to zoom out and they're starting to think about your performance as art and they're starting to attach their own feelings, that's what we're ultimately getting to. So, if we have to spend a lot of time talking to you about, hey, that right elbow, you got to get that right elbow out, then that puts us further away from our ultimate goal of no one knows who you are on the field. They just see forms, or they see, they hear a horn line. They see one visual package as opposed to a bunch of individuals. All right. So on the coachable side of things, one of the things that we will do, and you just need to go ahead and mentally prepare yourself that you're going to get your name called at some point. All right. Doesn't matter if you're, Sammer or, any of our other super vets, that are in leadership, Megan McCombs, etc. You're going to get your name called at some point. All right. That's just the level of detail that we're after here at Crown. And so at some point, that's going to happen. How you respond to that is going to be a big deal. So if, a staff member comes up to you and says, hey, you got to get the weight off your back foot a little faster. If your initial response is, I am, the staff member is going to walk away from you and they're going to make a note of it. And then you're not going to get a contract. Because what that tells us is that you're not coachable. You're not willing to receive feedback to get better. Okay. It doesn't mean that, all those, you might feel like you are, but that is absolutely the wrong response. All right. And then after that, after we give you that correction, we're going to see how well you implement that correction. And so you might not be the best mover at camp, but we see that like from the beginning of the block to the end of the block, you're complete, like you've done all of the little, hey, can you get your right elbow out? Cool. Yeah, thanks. Okay. Hey, just when you're doing a direction change, keep this blah, blah, blah. And then we see you do it. That's a huge green flag for us. That's a huge, like, okay, this person, they might be a 2.5 right now. And depending on, if a 1 is a contract and a 3 is maybe not this year, they're going to be a 1 by the time spring training rolls around. Those are the people that we want to go to war with. All right. So any questions about that idea before we move along? to the actual process of, you know, like what's going to happen during the block. Any questions, Sam or Alex? You guys got anything on that I might have missed? Cool. All right, so what we're planning on doing, I've asked for, and we'll see if this goes through. It just depends on, you know, all the other logistics, food scheduling. You know, the percussion and the guard are going to be at camps, and as well. So it'll depend on like facilities and that kind of stuff. But I've asked for 4-hour blocks on Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon, and the reason is because we're not just going to cover technique. We are going to cover the dance with Marcus that's in the Crown 101 series is going to be part of the audition, right? So we'll go through a little bit of, you know, Marcus will lead you through some movement stuff, and most of it, you know, like we're gonna work hard, but we do like to have fun. You know, we'll be running through a lot of different stuff. Marcus will move you through a lot of different movement exercises with, you know, music and stuff like that. But in order to do the things that we need to do to create the effects that we need to create, we got to do all the stuff, right? We put a lot of emphasis here at Crown on moving and playing, and we're going to be the best at it. But we also have to dance, right? You're not just a moving, playing robot. You're also you're a Broadway performer. All right, so we got to make sure that we can do all the different characters, and we want to start pushing the envelope. We want to start doing stuff that no one else can do. So make sure that you have been doing those, doing that Crown dance video and coming prepared for that. So what will happen and what we'll probably do, Marcus will, you know, we'll run through it very quickly, and then we'll break up into small groups, and then you'll perform for each other. And so, you know, at that point, you know, we'll get smaller class sizes. You'll get the feedback of, you know, everyone clapping for you. You'll get the adrenaline going a little bit. So yeah, let me look at this question. With the dance audition, are we doing it all together, or are we being pulled out one by? Sorry, it would be. What a terrible audition experience if we were like, okay, all right, Carson, you're up. Come on out, dance audition in front of everybody. No, so we'll do it in small groups, but we'll do it. It won't be like the OTM where we'll take you somewhere else. We'll do it within the block. You know, so you'll get a chance to watch other people do the audition, and then you'll get up there and do the audition as well. Which is also, again, it's a big part of our educational process here at Crown, is like watching videos and then commenting on the videos makes you a better performer. So watching someone else do, you might see someone do something like, you know, with their elbow or their shoulder or something like that, that you're like, oh, that's good. I like that. I'm going to do that too. So you might be able to add that into your audition as well. We'll cover technique, obviously, and we'll give you, you know, we'll run through our stationary exercises. We'll run through our across the floor technique, and that kind of stuff. And then the goal for this is the first time that I've done this, and I'm hoping to try to do this. I'm still working out the logistics on it. We're going to try to learn some mini drill, and we're going to have you march that drill. And the reason being is we want to see how you handle spatial awareness. We want to see how you handle moving from spot to spot, and how well you do at reading the forms. It's not going to be like, it's not going to be Jeff Sacktig, like you're backing up that way and you have to nail a diagonal that's blind at, you know, a 6.5 to 5 at 192. It's not going to be that. It'll be really simple drill, but that you're going to have to just, we're going to test your awareness. All right. So you're not going to need a dot book for that. No. We will, what we'll do is, and again, I'm still working on the logistics of this, or what would be the best way to do this, but we will probably just have either dot sheets or drill charts printed out, and we'll just tell you, hey, you're this person, follow this person's dot, you know, Like we'll have it like highlight like your X1, all right, and you have 5 or 6 drill pages where X1 is highlighted on each one, and then we'll learn the drill, and then we'll go through 10 to 15 minutes per segment of marching the drill and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so if we can fit all of that into 3.5 hours, maybe we'll do that. If we can fit it all into 4 hours, then we'll do that. But hopefully that will give us information to make really good decisions on who is in and who is not in the line. So any other questions about the audition process before we go? Not before we go, before I move on to the next thing. Sorry, I'm not gonna keep you here forever. But I do want to make sure you get as much information as possible before you get there. Any other questions about the audition? Make something up for the audition. Sorry, hold on. Yes, I want to hear whoever just unmuted. Give me two. I'm going to read this question. However, the performers didn't do that at the end of the video when they ran through it. Is that in or not? I'm going to go ahead and say come up with 8 counts. Be prepared to have 8 counts of movement on your own there at the end. All right. All right, who unmuted and wants to ask a question?
That was me.
Oh, Ace, what's up?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask: Are we planning to be inside the entire time, or will there be a chance of being outside we do drill, or will it just be in the gym?
Things have been really mild, so if it's if it's mid-50s, maybe we go outside and go to the stadium. Maybe instead of doing that, we do circle drill instead. Yeah, circle drill.
Yeah.
But right now I would plan on being inside the entire time. All right. So with that being said, dress is tight clothing, 0 baggy clothing. We need to be able to see your body move. And we need to be able to give you, one, that helps us with our audition process, but 2, being able to see your body move helps us give you better, more tailored information to you specifically, because not everybody's body moves exactly the same, but the goal is that we look the same. So you're going to receive probably different information than the person standing next to you, because their legs are a little longer and your torso is a little shorter, or I don't know. I just described Mike Wazowski. So you know what I mean? So anyway, everyone is Mike Wazowski. I don't know. Anyway, so if you want to wear leggings, you can wear leggings. Guys, if you want to wear leggings, you can wear leggings. If you're wearing shorts, please make sure that they are like at least 1.5 to 2 inches above your kneecap. Oh no. Oh no. Why would you do that? She's not even here to defend herself. Anyway, so for those of you that don't know, Caitlin is she's a member. She was a member. She marched 19 and I guess was gonna march 20 and then did Project 21 and then now she's on staff at Blue Stars. No, Blue Knights. She's on brass staff at Blue Knights. So anyway, we're getting way off topic here. That was totally my fault. I do it to myself. So any other questions about the audition process? So like a t-shirt like this kind of baggy. Oh, let me stand up. Like sweatpants like this. Probably.
Kevin now. Matt signed off.
What?
Matt was on and then he gave it to Kevin.
What do you want to do?
Okay. All right. So the sweatpants like this would be okay. A lot of people wear Adidas pants or whatever because Adidas pants tend to be tighter in the leg and the top of the leg, especially down into the knees. That's okay as well. This t-shirt would be pushing it. I might say something about a t-shirt that's this loose around your body. So, you know, you don't have to go out and buy all new stuff, but please don't show up with super baggy stuff where we're gonna have to say, hey, do you have anything else on? Or hey, can you roll your shorts up or something along those lines? Okay, any other questions about the audition process before I give you the last like little bit of helpful information before we get out of here? Yes, Aiden.
Is it okay that I can ask the question here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Is there any type of, or actually no, I'm asking this wrong. Would you recommend us having to wear shoes during the dance audition, or is it okay that we don't wear any shoes and just stick with socks?
What were they wearing in the the Crown Brass 101 videos?
They're using their shoes.
Yeah, so we'll be in shoes. You'll be in shoes almost all the time unless we're doing some of our super secret exercises where we don't have shoes. The time to exercise.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So what we usually have done in the past, and now I'm looking at some of these other, will any Viz staff be at the OTM during brass block? That's a possibility. Probably not. Like the brass team, like they know what we're looking for, and if your body looks bad, then they'll just be like, "Hey, they look really bad during the OTM. I don't think you want that person." So you know, yeah, maybe, but probably not. We wanted the goal for us at this first week, like to have as many visual staff as possible, like just walking around and taking notes, so that we get the best feedback possible, and you get the best. I don't want to say rating, but that your rating is as accurate as it possibly can be, because there was definitely someone who saw you doing something during that day. Does that make sense? Kaylee, I don't know if you answered, but do we know which day the dance block will be, if it's already planned? It's not already planned, but typically, this is just what typically happens. We usually take low brass in the morning block on Saturday, and then we take the high brass in the afternoon block on Saturday. You do not have to wear a shirt as tight as a compression shirt. Just a t-shirt is fine, just as long as it's not like super baggy. Yeah, same. We're typing out that schedule. That's what it typically is. Matt didn't say this, so I'll say it for him. Hey, please don't email us after the fact or message us after the fact and be like, hey, I got a something. What do I need to work on to make sure I get a contract? I'll tell you what he's going to say. One, he's probably not going to respond to you. Two, sorry, I need to stop reading messages while I'm talking. One, he's probably not going to respond to you. And two, he's going to say, you need to sound better. And I'm going to say, you need to move better. Like that's what you need to do. If you want to spot, you need to move better. You need to be able to move your legs without your hips moving backwards and forwards, right? You need to be able to move across the floor without the instrument moving, right? Those are the things that you need to work on. I'll just go ahead and tell you now. Your feet are out of time. I'll just get all of you. Your feet are slow and your legs are too bendy. There you go. All right, that's how you get a spot. Fix those things, okay? Any other questions about the audition process? Cool. Okay, I'm gonna move on because I'm just watching Sam Sam and you know, a couple of the other faces on here that are just like, this dude's got to stop talking like right now. All right, it's the ADHD. You'll get used to it. I haven't gotten used to it yet, but I assume you will. I don't know. Here we go. So the last thing, some things to be working on for the camp. All right, I'm trying to repopulate the Google Drive right now. It said it was going to take 45 minutes. Let me check on that. Okay, it's uploaded one video of the crown abs, and then I'll post that into the Facebook group or whatever. I really like these videos because it works the abs in a bunch of different ways, both from a static standpoint where you're keeping everything still and you're moving your appendages around, and then also where you are moving from a dynamic standpoint where you're moving your upper body, your torso, that kind of stuff. So we do a lot of that. Suggestion: you need to start working on flexibility, and something that can help between now and the December camp is working on the flexibility of your hips and ankles. All right, so really doing a lot of stretching of your hips, doing yoga, and then very quickly, this isn't done a lot. Let me show you real quick. All right, just simply like sitting on your ankles for a bit. Okay, you know, check out the cozy socks. What's up? Go Panthers! Is, you know, just sitting back on your ankles for like that with your laces down. Okay, you know, depending on how long you can take, don't do it until it's painful, but just doing that will help stretch the ligaments and tendons out in that area. Ankle flexibility is a really big deal for us, and it's going to help you move better. All right, so ankle and hip flexibility and core strength. Now, I will tell you, as we start to get into, you know, your leg strength will definitely help you be a better performer. There was one specific time this past summer where Henry Otts, you guys will all meet Henry at camp, hopefully, if he's there. Henry Otts was missing a dot that he was backing up into. It was a huge backup, and it was at a high tempo. And all I had to say was, hey, Henry, you need to take slightly bigger steps. You're missing the dot by like a step and a half or so. And he was able to make the correction on the next rep because the dude works his legs out like 3 times a week. I don't know. It's insane. I'm always looking. His Instagram story is always him doing deadlifts. So I assume he's just in the gym all the time. But he had the leg strength to make the correction that I was asking him to make on that rep. Does that make sense? Right? So it will absolutely help you as a performer to have stronger core, stronger legs, more flexible hips, and flexible ankles. All right? So I think that's about it. I know that's a lot of words. Any other questions for the good of the group that you might need or might have, so you feel comfortable coming in?
Can we have your email in case we have to ask you anything?
Yeah, I guess. Fine.
Thank you.
It's my first and last name, the number 2 at gmail.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So again, so I will tell you, my first email response back to you is going to be, have you asked your section leader? And then I'm going to say, have you asked Sammer? And then I'm going to say, have you asked Bert or any of the other drum majors? And I'm going to say, have you asked any of the other visual staff? And then I'm going to say, okay, cool, let me help. All right. And it's not because I don't want to help. It's just that there are like 150 of you and 1 of me. So that helps us make sure that everybody gets all the information that they need in a more timely manner. So if it is something that I need to address, then absolutely, obviously shoot me an email and I'll be happy to help you out. Any other questions? Cool. All right. Well, that's all I got. Do your stationary exercises. Work on your ankle, hip flexibility, and your core strength, and then work on that OTM. Have a good Thanksgiving break. Everybody enjoy the dog show and whatever comes on before that. I hear it's a parade of some sort, but you know, dog show. Okay, bye.
Kevin,
Hi,
Kevin.
Yeah, what? Hey, what?
Hi.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Okay, you don't have to stay right for this. Bye.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Matt.
Later.
Peace.